Good morning, Math 3 classes. This is your video for Friday, December 11th. And today we're going to learn about graphing points. First, I want to talk about what we already know about graphing. So far, we have learned how to graph numbers on a number line. If we had a number line that goes left to right, we'll put a couple numbers on it. If I asked you to graph the number 2, you would just go to the number 2 and put a dot on it. If I asked you to graph -3, you would go to -3 and put a dot on it. That's how we learn to graph a number on a number line. We also learned inequalities on a number line, but we're not going to talk about that today. We're just talking about individual numbers today. So, this is how we graphed on a number line, which just goes left to right. Today, we're going to learn how to graph on a two-dimensional space that looks like this. This graph not only goes from left to right, but it also goes up and down. So this is what we call two-dimensional because it goes left and right and up and down. Here's what I want you to write on a piece of paper. This is what we're going to name our notes today. Graphing on a coordinate plane. Graphing on a coordinate plane is our notes for today. A coordinate plane is also sometimes called a coordinate grid. So let's put that in parentheses. Graphing on a coordinate plane is our topic. This right here is the coordinate plane, this two-dimensional space that goes left to right and goes up and down. That is our coordinate plane. On this coordinate plane, we have some lines already. This big blue line that I have in the middle is called the x-axis. I'm going to label it with an X, and over here I'll write it down, x-axis. Axis is a fancy term that means line. So the x-axis is called the x-line, basically. It's a line that's just like a number line. It goes left to right. Right here in the middle is 0. That's where x equals 0. This is the number 1. This is 2, 3, 4. This is just like a regular number line. By the way, you should have been given a big piece of paper that has a giant coordinate grid on it already. If you don't have that, please ask your substitute to get that for you, to pass everybody on a giant coordinate grid. It should look like this, only yours is a little bigger, and yours already has the numbers on it. I'm just going to add a couple numbers onto my X line. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think yours goes up further than that. The negative numbers are on here as well. If this is 0, then this is -1 right here. This is -2, -3, -4, etc., etc. Now, this is the X line. It goes from left to right, just like a regular old number line. This red line here goes up and down. This is called the y-axis. I'm going to label it with a Y. And over here in my notes, I'm going to write down y-axis. Again, axis is a fancy term for line. So this is the Y line. It's another number line, but it goes straight up and down instead of going from left to right. This is still 0, where the x-axis and the y-axis meet is 0. And these numbers get higher as they go up. This is 0.1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. The numbers get into the negatives as you go down on the y-axis. This is going below 0, so this is -1, -2, -3, etc. So this giant coordinate plane or coordinate grid is two number lines that cross each other. One goes left and right, and one goes up and down. The one that goes left to right is the x-axis. The one that goes up and down is the y-axis. The point in the middle where they meet, where they're both 0, is called the origin. Let me get a different color. How about purple? This point right here where both lines meet is called the origin. And I'll write it bigger over here. The origin is where the x-axis and y-axis meet. We call that the origin, where both x is 0 and y is 0. One more thing before we actually get into graphing the points, we need to talk about what quadrants are. Write down this word, quadrants. The prefix quad means 4. So quadrants are the 4 big parts of the coordinate grid. And I'm going to abbreviate because I'm lazy. I'm going to abbreviate coord grid or coordinate plane. The quadrants are the 4 big parts of the coordinate grid or the coordinate plane. They're the 4 big boxes that are formed when the x line and the y line cross each other. This up here, this big box right here, this is a quadrant. This is a quadrant up here. This is a quadrant right here, and this is a quadrant. Now, mathematicians like to keep things orderly. We like to number things. So mathematicians have numbered these 4 quadrants in a very particular way. They've numbered them 1 through 4, but you can't just pick one to be 1 through 4. They have to go in a certain order. This quadrant right here is quadrant number 1. I'm going to write Q1. This is quadrant number 1, where the numbers for x are positive and the numbers for y are positive. Right here in quadrant 1, that's where the quadrants start being numbered. This is quadrant 1 right here. Now, to figure out the other numbers, you go counterclockwise. This one here is quadrant 2, Q2. This one comes next, quadrant 3. And this one is quadrant 4. So if I give you a point over here in quadrant 1, I might ask you, what quadrant is it in? You would say quadrant 1. So if a point is over here, it's in quadrant 1. If it's up here, it's in quadrant 2. If it's down here, it's in quadrant 3. If it's down there, it's in quadrant 4. Now, are you all ready to actually graph some points? Let's do this. Graphing points. When you are graphing points, you need to have 2 numbers in order to graph a point. When we were graphing on just a plain number line, we just needed 1 point. I'd say graph 4, you put a dot on 4. But now there are 2 4s. There's a 4 here on the x line, and there's a 4 there on the y line. So you need to have 2 pieces of information in order to graph a point on this grid. You need to know its x number, and you need to know its y number. We put these numbers, these 2 numbers, in parentheses with a comma between them. This is called an ordered pair. The first number is the x number. The second number is going to be the y number. And it's okay if you don't understand this yet. I'm going to explain. The first number is the x number. It tells you how far from the origin you have to go, either right or left. This first number tells you to move right or left. If this number, this first number, is positive, you're going to move to the right because the numbers to the right on a number line are positive. So put a little plus sign there next to right. If this number, this very first number, is negative, you have to move to the left. You start at the origin, and these numbers to the left are negative, so you'll move to the left. Once again, if this doesn't make sense, it's okay. We're going to do some examples, and once you see a few examples, it will make sense. But let's get this all written down first. For this Y number, the second number that I'm going to give you in an ordered pair, that's your Y number. It tells you, if you start at the origin, how far to go up or down. Up or down. If this number, this second Y number, if it is positive, you're going to go up because the positive numbers go up on the Y-axis. If this number is negative, you're going to go down. You're going to start here at the origin and go down to the negative numbers. Now let's do some examples. And you're going to see how easy this really is. It really isn't that complicated. All of this explanation sounds complicated, but it really isn't. You're going to be given two numbers in parentheses. Let's do an example. Let's say I give you the number 3, 5. I give you the ordered pair, 3, 5. And I say, graph that point. What you will do is you will come over on your grid and you will start at the origin. You'll start right in the middle. And you're going to count 3 on the X line and 5 on the Y line. That first number is 3. That means we have to move to the right 3. We go to the right because 3 is a positive number. So I have to count 1, 2, 3. So I'm here right now. Now I do the second number. The second number is a positive 5. So the second number tells you how far to go up or down. It's a positive 5, so I'm going to count up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is where I need to put my point. That is the point 3, 5. Let me go through that one more time just to make sure you got it. You start at the origin. Because my number is 3, 5. Let me write it here where you can see it. The first number tells you how far to go left or right. The second number tells you up or down. The first number is a positive 3. So starting at the origin, you count to the right 3. The second number is a positive 5, so you go up 5. That's where you put your point, right there. Let's do another example. Let's do the point, let's see. Let's do the point -4, 2. -4, 2. Remember, the first number tells you the X number. It tells you left or right. The second number tells you up or down. Let's do this. Let's graph it. The first number is -4. So I'm going to start at the origin and I'm going to count to the left 4. It's negative, so I have to go to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. The second number tells me how far to go up or down. I have to go up 2 because it's a positive 2. 1, 2. Put a dot. That's your point. That is the point -4, 2. You go start at the origin. You go to the left 4 because it's negative. Negative means go to the left. And the second number is 2, which is positive, which means go up 2. Let's do another one. let's do the points. Let's do 0, comma, -4. 0, -4. 0, -4. Remember, the first number tells us left or right. The second number tells us up or down. Now, this first number is a 0. So if I start at the origin, I have to move 0 left or right. So just don't move at all. Just stay right there. Stay at 0. Stay at the origin. -4 tells me to go down 4. I'm going to go down because that number's negative. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a dot. That number is on the y-axis. Let's do one last example, but I need one more colored marker. I got brown. This will have to do. All right, let's do the point 7, comma, -3. 7, -3. The first number tells me left or right. Am I going to go to the left 7 or to the right 7? I'm going to go to the right. The positive numbers go to the right. Then -3, am I going to go up 3 or down 3? I'm going to go down 3. I'm going to go down because it's negative. Let's start at the origin and let's do some counting. I have to go to the right 7 and then down 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then down 3. 1, 2, 3. There's my point. That is the point 7, -3. I have one last question to ask. What if I asked you where all of these points were located, in what quadrant? And I forgot to label this one. Let me label it. That's the point 0, -4. Okay. Next, let's find out what quadrants they're located in. How about this point right here, the point 3, 5? What quadrant is it located in? Quadrant 1. Big old Q1 right there is a big hint. Quadrant 1. What quadrant is 7, -3 located in? 7, -3. It's right there in quadrant 4. What quadrant is 0, -4 located in? Where's that point 0, -4? It's right here. It's on the y-axis. So it's not in quadrant 3 and it's not in quadrant 4. If I ask you what quadrant is this in, all you can say is it's on the y-axis. So if you're asked what quadrant is this in, your answer is it's on the y-axis. It's not in one of the quadrants. All right, I think you're ready to try some problems. You are going to try some problems in your workbook on page 231. Page 231. You are going to do numbers 1 through 16. All right, so page 231, numbers 1 through 16. I'm going to pause the video. When you all are ready to go over the answers, just unpause it and watch me go over the answers. Good luck. Hey, welcome back, kids. I hope you're ready for some answers. We are going to go over at least the first 8 from our workbook, and then we'll do a couple from that second section of problems as well. Letter J, we had to find the coordinates of it. So this is kind of the opposite of what we did in our notes. In our notes, I gave you the coordinate, you had to find it. Here, they give you the point, you have to say the coordinates. So we have to find J. J is right here. To find the first number, you need to start at the origin and say, how far did they go left or right? They went to the left 5, so that is -5. Now, did they go up and down at all? No. J is on the x-axis. They didn't go up or down, so the second number is 0. Remember, the first number says left or right. The second number says up or down. Let's find R. R is way down here. To find the coordinates of R, we start at the origin and we see how far did they go, left or right? Did they go to the right? Nope. They went to the left, and it looks like they went to the left -5. They moved left 5. So that is -5. So that brings us right here to point J. Now they went down. How far down did they go? They went down to -9. So they went to the left 5 and down 9. That's -5, -9. The next point is K. K is right there. So we need to start at the origin and see how far did they go, left or right. They went 6 to the left, and then they went down 3. 6 to the left and down 3. That's -6, -3. Letter M. Finally, we're going to get a positive number. Letter M is over here. So starting at the origin, how far did they move, left or right? They went to the right 2. If they went to the right 2, that's a positive 2 for the first number. They went to the right 2, and then how far down did they go? 2. They went down 2. That is a -2 for your second number. Letter I is right here on the y-axis. So start at the origin. For letter I, did they go left or right at all? No, they didn't. So the first number is 0. The second number is how far up or down they went. For letter I, they went up 5. So the second number is 5. Letter P is right here. We start at the origin and see how far did they move, left or right. It looks like they went to the left 2. That's a -2. And then they went up. How far up did they go? It looks like they went up 7. So the second number is 7. Letter N is right here. They started at the origin and they went to the right 5 and up 2. To the right 5 and up 2. That's the coordinates 5, 2. And letter L is way up here. It looks like they went to the right 2 and up 7. Those are both positive numbers. To the right 2 and up 7, 2, 7. Now let's look at these other ones. They ask what, for number 9, they ask what quadrant or on what axis is it located. I'm going to go over just a couple of these. For number 9, it says -3, -2. Let's find that point. -3, -2 is right here. What quadrant is that in? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is quadrant 3 for number 9. Number 10 is 7, 0. 7, 0 means go to the right 7. Don't go up or down. This is the point for number 10. What quadrant is it in? It's not in a quadrant. It is on the x-axis. That's how you would answer number 10. You would say it's on the x-axis. Same with number 11. It's 4, 0. That means go over 4. Don't go up or down. It's not in a quadrant. It's on the x-axis. Number 12 is -3, -9. Start at the origin and go -3 and go -9. Right there. So that is quadrant 3. That's all I'm going to go over with you. If you have any questions, your substitute teacher can go over the rest of them with you or give you some more problems if you feel like you need more practice. I think we can be done for the day. There's no homework as long as you all were well behaved. There's no homework. Please remember that we're going to have a test next week on Wednesday. And I hope you all have a great weekend. I'll see you in a video on Monday. Bye-bye.